Guys, welcome to my Etsy channel where my main objective is to help you build a thriving Etsy business. So if this is your first time in my YouTube channel and you're interested in growing your sales on Etsy, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you are the first one to be notified every time I put a new video or upload a new video. Welcome to this Etsy shop critique that I will be doing today. And I'm doing a critique on the store called Scrapping the Details, Simply Handmade. Thank you, Suzanne, for patiently waiting. And thank you so much for allowing me to do a review on your beautiful shop. I really appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. So the first thing that I always do on a review is pick a listing to audit, right? So I audit one listing. And this is the one that I'm working on today. It was really hard to find an actual one to do in her shop because she has so many great products and a lot of them are actually showcased properly. So I wanted to pick one that maybe the photo wasn't the best to kind of give her some pointers. So I picked this one here. You see how the photo is not cropped in a complimentary way and is cut off. That's one thing that you will need to work on, because this is the thing. The first thing that people see on Etsy is your photo, because obviously it's that's what people see, right, when they're searching for something. And when you have when we have an e-commerce store like Etsy, the only thing the person has to go by is the photo, because it's not like an actual store that we could stop in, touch the item, touch the texture, see how it looks. So when you sell online, whether it's Etsy, Amazon, or any e-commerce platform, your photo has to be spectacular. And I know that in your notes, you did mention that you knew that and you were working on it, so that's great. So the photo is the first thing, because it's gonna, one, make you stand out. Two is, you're gonna have two potential buyers, right? You're gonna have the buyer that is looking for your item, right? They're trying to buy this banner, and you're gonna have the person that wasn't really looking for a banner. Maybe they were looking for something different, but when they stumble right on your listing, they're like, wow, this is amazing, I have to have it, and they go ahead and buy from you. So you're gonna have those two type of buyers, right? The one that was initially looking for you, and the one that wasn't really looking for you but fell in love with your product and they want to buy it. So therefore, your photo has to be compelling. It has to be beautiful. It cannot be cropped in, it has to be cropped in a complimentary way. You have to have a really nice background. On this one, it looks like the picture is getting washed off by the background. It looks like it's not clear. You see how the colors don't pop? So you definitely want to work on that. Also, when you have multiple photos, which is great, I'm glad that you're filling up all the photos. Make sure that the first photo, the size of this one, matches with the next one. You see how it's cut off? Visually, it's not appealing when you have it that way. So it doesn't make it look better. So definitely work on that, on making sure that all your photos are sized the same size. You could use like Photoshop, or you could use Canva or PicMonkey to kind of download your photos there and kind of resize them the same size. I get why you did this one long. It's just affecting the other photos because they're shorter. And then what I would do is that if you don't have good lighting in your home, I would say buy a light box. I don't know if you ever seen them. You probably have. I have one for one of my shops that I sell tangible candles. But the light box basically looks like this. And you put the item inside so you put like a letter, let's say, or whatever you're selling inside of it. You take a photo and it gives you amazing light with a nice clear white background, like a crispy clear white background. That's what I would recommend to make this stand out a little bit more. And some of these light boxes, like the one I have, I could take a picture like this lady, or I could take a picture from up down. So that's a nice thing, because if you lay the product flat, you could take the picture from the top. It won't create a shadow of your camera like hovering on top of it. And it comes out beautiful. So highly, highly recommend getting a light box They're really cheap on Amazon. You could get one for under $50. Um, yeah, and just making sure that all your photos. That's the first thing before you even add more products. Before you grow your store, perfect the pictures you currently have. Perfect that first before you proceed in adding a whole bunch, because then the more you perfect the ones you have now, when you start adding new stuff, you start creating better images, and you'll learn. And this is a learning process too, because a lot of people, um, they beat themselves down about it, but don't, because originally when I first started my shop, if you would have saw my shop, it was horrible because I never done graphic design, and even though I was in the digital space already for a couple of years already, I really didn't have the concept of what looks good, I guess. And a year later, I went back to my shop and I revamped everything. I had like over 1,000 items, and it took me forever to do all that. Plus, I had infringements because I was using trademarking stuff, so I got in trouble for that. It was just a chaos in my store, basically. So I had to take a lot of listings down, and then on top of that, I decided to transform my photos again because a lot of them didn't look that great, to be honest. So it is a working process. And the more you do it, as you probably already noticed, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So you'll start looking at it yourself and be like, oh man, that picture could change, or I could improve in that. So definitely this main photo here should display the whole banner. And you might be able to do that by just changing the size of the photo. That way the first photo you could display everything. So the only other suggestion that I would say is that your last photo, add a call to action saying, "Hey guys, click below to learn more about this banner, or click below to view matching items that come with this banner, or extra matching items, whatever, not that comes with it, but to see additional matching items." The reason why I say that is because you want to add a call to action, and you want to keep the customer in your shop. The longer they stay in your shop, the more chances of them probably buying from you. So when you add that call to action and they click below, they're actually taking the time to learn more about your product. And a lot of people don't just assume that it's their first time on Etsy. A lot of people don't know how to use Etsy. That is their first time using it. They don't really know that if they click, there's a whole section that they could read about the listing and learn more. So there's a lot of people that really don't know that. So you have to kind of like tell them, hey, just to let you know, you could click below and learn more. So make sure that you do stuff like that, because it will definitely increase your views and impressions and everything else, and hopefully your sales as well. So that would be my suggestion for your photo. The second thing that I talk about is search engine optimization, which is also known as SEO. And search engine optimization basically is how the search engine understands what this page is about. It understands that this is a birthday banner. And it understands that by having the main keyword in the beginning of the sentence. The reason why is because that same keyword is going to be on right here, you see, on your link. And that's the reason why it holds the most weight. The first keyword you put here, the first word you put here, holds the most weight because it's going to automatically be pulled into the URL. So you don't want to say get this happy birthday banner, because then the get this will appear up here and it won't trigger as a keyword. You see, now the new keyword will be get this, and that's not what you want. So you did a good job with that. You want to make sure that you have the main keyword here in your listing description, which you did it right here. Perfect. You want to have it distributed throughout your listing description. And then you also want to have, I know I used to have this before back here in the bottom, and I changed it. So what I would do is back down here, add this instead, because I decided to change it now because it just makes more sense. Add a call to action. Well, it's also another form of call to action, but add your URL. The reason why you want to do that is because then when people finish browsing your shop and they go all the way in the bottom, instead of pressing the back button and leaving your shop, the nice thing about it is that they could click there and it will take them to your homepage. And once again, the longer they stay in your shop, right, the better and higher chances of them buying from you. So you definitely want to do that and put the backlink on the bottom. Um, so make sure that you distribute the keywords throughout your listing description, and then you put all the keywords down here, which you did as well. So that's great. So a couple things about your keywords, and anything that I'm talking about today, any resources are going to be on the bottom of this video. I have a whole bunch of links from how to get banners, how to use mockups, my top videos, links to different resources. So just make sure that you click below to view them. Um, this is your listing that we were talking about, and these are the numbers. So a lot of Etsy sellers, I used to do this too, and I stopped doing it. A lot of Etsy sellers, what they do is they use their store name as a keyword. I wouldn't use that. As you can see, you see how you don't have no information here? That's because no data is coming back from Etsy because no one's looking for your store by your name. You might look for it occasionally. You might get like one customer or two that does, but you're wasting a keyword basically that you could use to drive more traffic to your shop. Unless your shop becomes very, very popular overnight and you start to get tons of traffic and notice, and you go to BuzzFeed and you get published on all of these articles and you're out there like that, that's when you use your keyword of your store, because people are going to go to Etsy and search your store. But if no one is searching your store, don't waste your time with it, because this could be another potential customer with a regular keyword. So that's the number one. If you have this on all your listings, I will go back, remove it, and add a keyword that you actually could get some traffic. And this is the reason why there's no data here, because that keyword, no one's really looking for you right now. It doesn't mean it won't happen, right? So we have to be optimistic. It's just right now it's not happening. Now, another thing that you have to keep in mind is that you're using keywords like these here that are oversaturated. And oversaturated meaning that there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people using that same keyword. So therefore, it's going to be very hard for you to rank organically for that keyword. So I'll give you an example. If you take happy birthday and you go to Etsy.com, you're going to be able to see how many people are using that keyword. So if you go to happy birthday, there's 203,000 people that have listings that have the word happy birthday. So therefore, two things you're doing wrong with that keyword. One is oversaturated, right? Everybody in the mama is using it. So therefore, your listing is not particularly going to be on the first page. It might be buried on the second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever. On top of that, if you were to, three things. If you were to run an ad, your cost per click is going to be higher because there's so many people competing for that keyword. And it doesn't necessarily mean also that if you run an ad, you will be on the first page either. And thirdly, you're not targeting your target audience, you could say, sort of, because if you put happy birthday here, you see that all random things are coming up. You see this sign, you see this little box here, you see like labels, you see some banners because I saw some down here. You see this little I think they're garlands or whatever. You see a shirt, you see this banner here. So it's targeting. When you have that, that's why a lot of people sometimes say, a lot of Etsy sellers say, I just don't get it. I get a lot of views, I get a lot of impressions, but I'm not making sales. It's because they're showing their products to the wrong people. So they're getting a lot of views, right? But no one's buying because they're not interested in your product. No matter how amazing your product is, they're really not interested in it. And occasionally you might get the sale because maybe your photo's amazing and they maybe in the future are going to use your product, but necessarily in the meanwhile, they're not interested, so they're not buying. So you definitely want to use long tail keywords, and you want to, when you're looking for keywords, you want to describe your item as close as possible. So you could put like happy birthday banner, right? That would be more ideal for what you sell. And now you're targeting like the right people. See how it went down in results? Because it's getting more narrow, and that's what you want. You don't want like really broad. You want it more narrow. The narrow, the better. So now you're kind of getting somewhere. However, 34,000 other listings is still very competitive. So you kind of want to keep playing with it. So another one might be happy birthday banner. Let's just put the word pink at the end because it is pink. So now you're getting better. You see now it's 7,786. This will be a better keyword. So you want to do keywords from, I would say, 500 listings to 10,000. That way you could have some that you could rank organically on the first page automatically, and then some that if you were to run an ad, you could be found organically, and also through the ad be your ad will be served in the first or second page of Etsy, versus when you use a very competitive keyword, right, or a generic keyword that everybody else is using, you're going to be stuck on the second, third, fourth, all the way in the bottom somewhere. So keep in mind, I'll give you an idea. We were talking about this on the Facebook group. If you have baby headbands, right? So instead of putting baby headbands that everybody else is using, describe your baby headbands. So like pink baby headbands, nylon baby headbands, infant baby headbands, polka dots baby headbands, and keep doing that, and then come with different variations of it, and then go to the Etsy rank. Just don't think of them and write them down, because still have to search for the competition, right? So then you go to Etsy rank, you put the keyword, and you find out how many other people are using that particular keyword. And if it's under 10,000, then you use it. If it's over 10,000, you could still use it, because those are better than the ones you currently have that have like too much competition. However, you want to make sure that you stick with keywords that potentially you could rank for and that you could be found with. So that's how you do excuse me, proper SEO research for your store. And you're just going to have to play with it, because both you and I are in a very competitive niche. So therefore, it's going to be harder for us to find keywords versus another store that maybe they're not in a competitive niche and they sell a lot. And I know you mentioned that another store has a little bit more products than you, and they sell a lot. So you have to keep in mind, when you look at that store, look at their overall store, right? Does it look better than yours? Does it have nicer photos? But you can't really rely on only that, right? Because if you say, well, no, my photos are better and my store looks better, they just have a little bit more than me, what the difference could be, maybe that they have better SEO, um, and also their marketing efforts, right? Maybe they're marketing the crap out of their products. Maybe they have an email list. Maybe they have a website. Maybe she has, like, some people go viral on Pinterest. I mean, I saw this one store that had 86 products. That their store wasn't that spectacular, and she made like in 1 year like $23,000. I mean, sorry, 23,000 sales, and I was just blown away. But what I noticed is that her Pinterest account that she was promoting on her store, if you pin, you got like a discount. Her Pinterest account got received over 1 monthly million views per month. So I mean, I just did a hypothesis, right? I don't know this for sure because I can't see her metrics, but my hypothesis is that based on Pinterest, she's driving tons of traffic. And even though she's in a competitive niche because she sells bridal stuff, she's able to make that much sales because of the Pinterest traffic, right? So we don't know these stores what they're doing to get the traffic unless you start analyzing like I do, and you start like following them and stalking them, and you go to their Instagram and you see what they're doing. You go here, you go there, and you start trying to figure out how are they getting so many, right? And then you could just make a educated guess, because you're not really looking at their metrics or seeing if they're spending $5 a day in ads, or are they spending $50 a day in ads, right? We don't know. So um, it's just you knowing what you could do for your shop and improving it the best way you can, so the likelihood of you getting more sales increases over time. Um, but yeah, I mean, once you do that and you do all the research and you get the new keywords, definitely go back. I'll repeat this because I said it in the beginning. Put the main keyword in the front. I know with Etsy now they did a couple changes that what they want you to do is just put one keyword here, which will be the main one. The main one should describe your item to the T. So you put the main keyword here, a short description here. The main keyword should be here again, like you did, and then distribute the other keywords throughout your listing. I have kept mine like this, like how you have it. It's just a SEO best practice that Etsy wants you to do. It doesn't mean you have to do it, it's up to you. It's just that they want it to be visually appealing for someone. So someone is reading this, um, they they want it to be easy for them to understand what exactly they're buying from you, and that's the reason why they're trying to make it simple, but at the same time, meet the SEO requirement, which is having your keyword there. Um, so that's a portion of the SEO. And the next thing that I always talk about is your listing description. Keep in mind that the listing description, as you know already, is just basically describing your item. Telling the customer how to order, what they get included, the size, the color, the shipping policy, return policy, how to contact you. As you probably already noticed, a lot of people don't read, right? And they'll still message you even though all the information is here. A lot of times it's because they're new at Etsy or they just don't take the time to read, right? But you you are going to get those occasional customers that do read, right? And they know the ins and out of that listing, and they still ask you like a very educated question about it, like, hey, you said that I could get this in 4 weeks, so you think I could pay you extra to get in 2 weeks? So you're going to get those type of customers as well. I think that you've done a really good job with your listing description. I have mine set up like this too, with the little stars, and I kind of had them separated into sections. It's nice because it's easy for them to view where they want to go. So if they want to just know how to order, or they kind of browse down and they want to know about the return or the refunds and exchange, it just takes them directly to that little section versus having this massive like text of information, and they're like all over the place. So I think you've done a really good job with that. So excellent job on that. I mean, I don't necessarily would say to change anything. I had it this way before. um, I would just remove that and just put a backlink. And that would be my only suggestion from your shop. But I think you did a good job. I think that you did a good job of taking the time to read everything, and put all the details. You did a good job with. I struggle with grammar, so I was looking at your grammar. You did a good job with that. So yeah, in that area, I wouldn't change anything. Another thing you did a good job is this part right here, and this is the meta description. So when customers, for those of you that don't know, when a customer is finds you on the Google, right, search engine, the first 150 characters of your listing description is a snippet that they see, and that snippet should be compelling. One, it should include your main keyword. So this is, let's say this is her main keyword. You see, it's there and it's there. It should include your main keyword, and it should have like an enticing caption to make the customer want to click and learn more about your product. So she's done an amazing job with that. You want to make sure that you have that there. So if you don't have that in your listing, guys, make sure you update it because it's crucial to enticing someone to click to learn more about your particular item. And the last thing I normally talk about on Etsy is the curation of your shop. You know, does your shop have a banner? Which you do, it's beautiful. Does your shop have a logo? You do. Do you have a photo of yourself? Which you do. This is great because people want to see who they're buying from. And a lot of people's photos are not great, or they're like a photo with like 50 other people in it, or it's like very far, so you can't really see the person. So you've done a really good job with that. I like your tagline. I like that you have your location on. You have reviews, updates, about me, and policy. That's great because a lot of people don't take the time to do that. And I think the biggest mistake you can make as an Etsy seller, that I think I made as well in the beginning, is treating Etsy not like a real business. Because just because you didn't have to put, raise $50,000 to put a loan or open, your own business, doesn't necessarily call it like not a real business. And I think that's the first thing you have to realize, that this is a real business, and that you have to invest the time to do all these little features that Etsy provides you, because it really does make a difference. By adding other stuff, people are getting to know you, they want to connect, they want to know who they're buying from. So it is important to add these things. I think overall, the curation of your shop, it looks beautiful. I think that you've done a really good job with your branding and the colors and the background. So in that sense, I really don't have anything I could really say bad. I would just say make sure your photos are cropped, in a complimentary way, that they're not getting cut off. And my only other suggestion is having all the photos have the same background. So if I saw this picture on Etsy search results and I saw that one, I want to know that I want to be able to guess, oh, this is from that same store. Right now, it looks like these three are from three different stores. So that if I will have to go back to your store, right, and kind of revise everything, will be make sure all of them have the same background. Maybe all with white background, maybe all with the little wooded background that you have over here. But just oh, I passed it right. This one right here. So just having everything curated the same way for branding purposes, it will elevate your business to another level. It will look better, to be honest with you. Um, Even these are really cute with the little glitter like that. Like these four right here look really nice, but you see how they're kind of like different colors. Like this is more gray and this is more like a lighter gray, I guess. Just having the consistency that they all look good. The nice thing about your products is that even though they don't have the same colors, your products are amazing. They're really, really cute. So you kind of could get away with it a little bit, right? Not having like the colors. But what I would suggest is to take your store to the next level is having really, really amazing photos because your products, Suzanne, are amazing. I mean, I see you on Instagram all the time and they're beautiful. So it's not the product. You have amazing products. Even all these are so cute. So the only thing I would suggest is just having better photos, to be honest. Um, but yeah, these are my suggestions. I haven't been able to do social media reviews for everyone now because I got an overwhelming response of Etsy shop critiques, and a lot of people were messaging me like, hey, when I'm gonna get my review. So I've been trying to be more diligent of not including a social media review because it just takes the video to a longer, video. So if you have any questions about your social media, Suzanne, you could just message me on Facebook or on Instagram. But your overall store, I think you're doing an amazing job. You have great reviews, obviously, because you got great products. But yeah, these are my suggestions for your store. I think the two main things that you should look into is SEO and a little bit better photos because your products are amazing. So there's no need to fix that. So I hope that this tutorial has been helpful for you guys or this critique. If this is your first time, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you guys have any tips for Suzanne about her shop, leave a comment below. Let us know. I'm trying to create a sense of community that we all come together and help each other out. So if you have any suggestions that she could do, leave a comment below and let's all contribute to each other's success. So thank you guys for watching, and until the next XC critique, have a wonderful day.